This is a brief tour of the two basic reports that the STIG Manager web client has available as of today. To drill into the reports for a collection, we expand our navigation tree for the collection, go to Reports. Let's look at the status report first. The job of the status report is to give an overall indication of how reviewed a collection is. So in this view, each asset is a group, and we see the STIGs under that asset. We know how many checks there are, how many are not reviewed, the oldest and the newest. This is old data that my demonstration data, so hopefully yours isn't that behind. And then counts of the various states, as well as the count of findings per severity. The report can be pivoted. It's showing groups of assets right now. It can show groups of STIGs, alternatively, which is another way of looking at the data. And the purpose of the report really is to give you a sense of, if you're shooting for 100% accepted, this will give you a strong indication of how far along you are and just where the bottlenecks are. We can collapse and expand the groups in toto if we wish. So that's the status report. Back to our nav tree. The findings report is another presentation of the data that STIG Manager is maintaining. It is a summary of findings. By default, it's aggregated under the group or the V number. It shows for all STIGs in the collection. You could choose to show just certain STIGs in the collection. When you select a finding, over on the right-hand grid, you get the individual assets that have that finding and which STIG the finding is in. And this can be expanded so you can see more. As we progress, these reports will be a little more interactive. Clicking on a finding will take you to the actual review of that finding for editing. You can aggregate against other attributes other than group. CCI is an interesting one, right? Because it aggregates now against essentially control. And then finally, if you're aggregated under with either group or rule, you can generate a POA that's suitable for import into EMAS. And I'll generate a POA right now. Save that off. It basically just scaffolds the template that is used by EMAS so that it can be filled in outside of STIG Manager. I would love to create a POA management API, but we're waiting to see if there's any interest in that kind of thing. So if it is, let us know. Those are the two reports that I could show you right now in the STIG Manager web client.